Did you hear from anybody from Turkey, from that lab?
No one reached me up, and please don't. But thank you for everyone who reached out. Don't worry, I'm fine. Thank you for all the comments. We got some comments also about the environment, how this can happen in the academia and such. But so far, I also got some messages, people from Turkey, that they were surprised that I talked about it because it felt brave move for them. Yeah, I just wanted people to hear that it's not always butterflies and sunshine and rainbows. These things can happen even when you don't do anything. So these things can happen and you get out of it. Anyone who is going through it, don't worry, it's gonna be fine. We also got submission to our anonymous form, and this person said that they just finished to listen to the episode chapter 3. It was crazy how in some universities there is a big lack of protection for workers, even more for young people that are not into work relationships dynamics. What shocked this person was for sure how much the supervisors were manipulated and could not act as PI they should act. And also that this person was able to pursue his career at the end, having maybe a prominent position, indeed creating toxic work environments. And they said also that it was a pleasure to listen to our podcast. They like what we're doing. We are also happy to reach and connect with people.
That was quite nice. And we would like to encourage more people to do so. If you ever feel called to write us a comment about the episode or certain situation, or even what we said, because maybe we are saying something that you're completely disagreeing with. So call us out, let us know what you think, and we will discuss it in the next episode.
That's what we are most interested when you disagree. So we get excited when we see people commenting on certain things.
Yes, give us new perspectives.
Challenge us.
We learn. Now we will get like a whole letter with points. Yeah, you don't know anything. We said that we are going to ask our moms to describe what we do for a living. What did your mom say?
My mom surprisingly said almost correct everything. Well, of course, not in detail, but she said you work as a researcher and you're researching chemistry, pharmaceuticals, and water. And you work in a laboratory in London.
She gets the buzzwords, all of them correct.
So I asked, do you know for which university do I work? And she was like, you can help me. They will not know.
My mom, she really surprised me because I got a bit of emotional when I read her message. She said that I am working on cancer and I work on genetic eye diseases with frogs because frogs have the most similar DNA to human. And she works 24/7. Her only aim is to help people and serve them. It's so cute.
She almost got me when she said that the frogs are the most similar. I thought that she's gonna literally defend your PhD with those words. That was cute.
Okay, frogs don't have the most similar DNA to human, guys, just so you know, for people who are listening and not familiar with the genetics and DNA.
What about your mom?
My mom, when I asked her, she looked really guilty, like caught. Because my mom is like the typical nerd. Like she was the best student in school. Nobody could touch her. She knows everything. And then when I asked her, she was like, you work in a lab, you grow algae, and you wear the protective coat
It's so cute.
for toxic chemicals. So she didn't say much. But you know those STEM romance novels that are really popular lately, like Lessons in Chemistry and some others that I'm not sure the names. My mom became obsessed with those. She read them all, and she was reading one of them the other day, and she tells me, postdoc. And I'm, what are you talking about? I never heard her say that word before. And she told me, is this what you're doing, a postdoc? Yes. So while she's reading these books, she's understanding my actual career. So now she gets what is a postdoc and what is like the career trajectory in academia.
Should we say our moms kind of passed the test?
Yeah.
So we want to ask other people if you want to ask your parents.
We did it. You should too.
You can also send us an audio voice on Instagram, or you can submit an online form anonymously.
I kind of hope they fail. Today's topic is, since it's July, it's summer break. We want to talk about summer holidays and also all kinds of breaks in academia in general. What do you do on a weekend? How do you disconnect when you come home after work? I want to ask you, do you think for yourself that you are good in taking holidays?
I am much better than before. I got better in it. I think because of my culture, where I come from, there was a lot of guilt in wanting to take a break. And when I first started my PhD, I was feeling bad to ask permission. And they were like, what are you asking for? Just put it in the calendar. I was like, what? Calendar? Okay. You know? Of course, it depends on the time period. At one point during your PhD, maybe it's a lot of experiments happening that you are collecting a lot of data, not. But now that we are postdocs and I can arrange my own schedule and I know when to do what to do, I'm not going to live in the middle of an experiment. So usually now, yes.
Same. I'm getting better, or at least understanding dynamic of not working during the weekends. But I cannot say that I'm good at it. I still have some things that I do, like answering emails or checking emails. Now I can take holidays more structured, understanding when I'm taking something, why and how can I organize myself. I think during PhD was way harder because everything was depending on your papers, your research, when you're going to defend. So there were way more deadlines there are also deadlines now, but maybe it was just kind of mentally troubling.
I guess you need some confidence also to take the holidays, because I think it depends from where you come from, like you said, that then you had to ask for permission.
Yes, and I was feeling as if I need to do so much before to deserve an holiday that I am even able to ask it. And it was 2 weeks. And these 2 weeks are not like 2 weeks, 15 days. It's really 10 working days. You can go 2 weeks in total. And there was a lot of guilt tripping. And funny enough, when I started my PhD, I think it was the second year or something like that, I went home for a vacation. And then we got an email from our collaborators. And my supervisor responded to that email. And the email was saying, Burcu is on a well-deserved holiday. And I read that while on holiday at home. I was shocked. I was like, this is healing all my traumas from before. Did I really deserve my holidays? That moment really shifted something in my head. Indeed, I worked hard and now I'm home. Not every time I'm home, I am completely disconnected. How nice that one thing he said, that was so important for me to hear, I guess. Anyone listening, you're on a well-deserved holiday.
Don't listen if you're on holiday now. Are you good at taking holidays?
I'm not. I think I have phases. Probably we are all just getting better at it because we learn when to stop. I think before I didn't know when I need a break. I would just push myself a lot, but now I notice I'm tired or I'm getting overwhelmed or I'm becoming annoyed at things. Then I really try to plan a holiday.
Yeah, do really holidays, like taking a couple of days off, we are not even talking about 2 weeks holidays when you're going somewhere traveling. We are talking about a couple of days, like 3, 4, 5 days off. Will something burn in those 5 days? Is it so hard? Will our research really get better if with those 5 days we are present? I don't think so. Sometimes even less. Like sometimes it's even less progressive because you know that you maybe need a holiday or you need a break and everything just happens and becomes even worse, or it's very non-productive week. Sometimes your colleagues maybe need a break of you as well.
How is it in the UK compared to Belgium for holidays?
I think it's quite similar. We have similar also numbers of days for holidays. Also in Belgium, we had many days off, but you don't use them all. It's impossible to use so many days. And then you just push them to another year. At one point, I even had like 40, 50 days off in 1 year without using them, which was crazy. I think people are having a very healthy relationships towards pushing students, PhD students, postdocs, and in general, the staff members to take holidays. They're encouraging them. So it's mostly on you if you're not taking them. But we do have some colleagues and friends from Italy as well. And they have a very messed up system because as a PhD student, in their contract doesn't say that they have holidays. It only says that they can take days when the PI decides them to take them. them. It's really messed up because if the PI takes only 1 week holiday throughout the whole year and they say you can only take it then, which is then in August, our friends also told me that they couldn't even take doctor's appointments. They would feel very embarrassed and scared to even ask to go for a dental checkup or anything like
I
it.
think we are very lucky in Belgium.
I guess all the Northwest countries have very good systems in academia, working a lot towards mental health and encouraging this type of behavior.
On paper, we have a lot of holidays, but in reality, how much can we actually take? All of us work in a lab. We work with living samples, materials. So how do you leave your frogs, for example? How do you organize it? Do you need to ask your colleagues to take care of them, or do they starve while you're gone?
I will never leave in their critical time point window of their development, of course, but we have an animal caretaker, and during the weekend we go in rotation to take care of the animals. That's why I say frog duties. In holidays and in weekends we go and take care of them ourselves. If I'm on holiday, then someone else will take care of it, and my supervisor is checking the animals every day. So if there's a phenotype suddenly popping up while I'm on holiday, he will let me know and he will take care of it. So I can leave my frogs behind, luckily.
And your cells?
I struggle a bit because it's only me and one other colleague in my lab that we work with diatoms. We usually always try to arrange that we don't go on holiday at the same time, but sometimes it's a problem. So now, for example, we just left our cells in an incubator at a really low temperature, hoping that they will survive. But I don't know what will happen when I come back, because sometimes you have failures with the cooling, so the temperatures can go up and down. So every time I leave, I do feel like when I come back, I could find a mess. It is a bit risky. I think it really matters a lot, your lab and your colleagues, that you can organize it. And what about you, Ardiana? In chemistry lab, what is the biggest problem?
I think it really depends which chemistry, but my type of chemistry, which is analytical chemistry, we are not taking care of live organisms, so nothing is going to die tomorrow. The biggest thing to consider is the responsibility of someone with the instruments use. So if you have someone who knows how to use certain instrument, and if anything happens and you don't have the other responsible person to help, then it can delay someone else's projects, for example. If you have students, then very hard taking holidays. But depending on my research, I can leave. If I organize myself well with the experiments, I can leave and I can postpone something. So it just depends if I'm going to have certain results. Okay, maybe if I have blood samples incoming, clinical samples, I cannot store them for a very long time, and then maybe I need to do analysis immediately. But if I organize myself, I would never take clinical samples in time period that I'm going to be away. But other than that, bye.
Bye. You know what kind of laboratory work that now comes to my mind that is really labor intensive and doesn't let you go on holiday is organoid work. You have to take care of them every day. And for example, for retinal organoids, it takes 120 to 200 days for them to be mature. So 6 months you are going to the lab every day.
Do you also work with organoids?
Not directly.
I'm not interested by the sounds of this labor. That's a lot. Wow. Then I think even bigger problem than taking holidays is actually when we leave on holidays to stop yourself from working. Because do you keep checking emails? Do you keep engaging, writing something? Just a little, I will send a short email and then it turns into a whole thing, right? There's always something that happens.
It really depends. If there is a project that you need to submit, for example, and maybe you have your holiday booked from before and that deadline just happened, so you have to work on it. That happened to me. And also in the previous episode, Burcu was mentioning her project and how she also half of her holiday spent writing it before she actually started relaxing. So that's one part that is sometimes unpredictable. Emails can also be sometimes unpredictable. If you know that you're expecting some email and then it's very important that you answer it now, or maybe submissions for conferences, and then you need to write an abstract and maybe the deadline is during your holidays. The problem is that whoever is listening, that is not in academia would say you have a very bad time management because you could do many of these things than before and then you can go. I heard this many times. We don't work in that way. It's very nonlinear and very unpredictable because sometimes you have things in the schedule, but then something takes priority. So we can talk about work overload. I do check emails.
When you check them, does it upset you? Or do you feel like, oh, why am I not there? Or do you feel the urge to do something? Or you can just put it back and only react if there is something super urgent?
When I was doing my PhD, I would be sometimes upset because if it's an email regarding my research that I need to do something, I cannot enjoy any more holidays. I just want to leave and be in the lab and do it and deliver back the results. But now I don't feel that pressure.
I really like to answer fast. I always check my emails and I respond immediately when I see it. But I have one collaborator that every time she emails me, I'm on holiday. I really don't get it how this happens, but it's already more than a year. Every single time I was on holiday, I got an email from her asking for some data, and I feel so bad. What does she think? What's the longest that you didn't check your emails? How many days in a row?
But emails are not such a big deal in our job. So you like to send emails, I know. You care about emails. But okay, it's just an email. I read it, I check it, and if I respond, I respond. And so what? It doesn't affect my holidays to check my emails during my holidays. I really have a different way of looking at emails.
But maybe because your communication via email is a bit different. Maybe with your PI is not via email. And maybe with collaborators, you do it in a different way. But when I was working in Antwerp and 7 people are working on one project, you're going to receive so many emails, because it's like a basic communication about one research. And then everyone is answering to that email. And then you need to catch up.
Yeah. Maybe because I always worked single. I haven't worked with someone in a very close collaboration. And other things, I mostly talk on Teams or in real life. Or I'm in WhatsApp, even with my supervisors.
I think I often have situations that I get an email like, this needs to be done urgently because somebody else needs the data. Then it feels like, wow, and I'm not even in Belgium. So that can upset you.
Yeah, of course.
Academia is so chaotic.
Yes.
At least in my experience, it's super chaotic.
Yes.
What the hell?
I don't know any PI that is living the best life, never worrying.
Wonder how it is for them to go on holiday. Wow.
Will something change if you're a bit more chill and you let these emails just pass? Or having someone who's going to take care of this type of urgent emails? I don't know. Maybe there is a system that we didn't figure it out.
What's the weirdest place that you ever worked at or worked in or whatever?
Mine is in a probably one of my most saddest days of my life, and in a taxi. I still had to submit an application going somewhere from the airport. There was still like this bad thing happened in your life, but you have to make your submission. That was hard, but okay. I didn't even get it.
For wedding. Not my wedding.
During my wedding.
That could also be a possibility, yeah.
For me, I think, okay, emails. I was just responding to emails, but it was on a horse. This was so weird. This was recently. I went horseback riding and I have not done this in decades. And I had a really annoying horse that didn't want to listen. She just wanted to go to other horses and eat all grass that she could find. So I had to all the time keep her on the way. And then at some point I got too comfortable and I was thinking, wow, I'm really enjoying this. I'm disconnecting. I'm in nature. And then I remembered my emails and I opened them and started responding. And then I thought, what the hell am I doing? I'm here in the middle of a forest on a horse. And do I need to respond to this email right now?
You should have put a PS, I'm on a horse right now.
Sent from my horse. But then how do you actually disconnect? When you're on a holiday or during the weekend or in the evening, do you do something that helps you to disconnect from work?
I need to tell myself I would not do it now. And then taking activities that are then beneficial for you, like meditating or yoga, exercising, anything that comes with that. But that doesn't have to be just holiday. That can be any day.
For me, I think it's randomly, really in the flow. Maybe for that holiday, I already finished many things. Sometimes I go on holiday, I come back, I am like, what the hell was my research about? Other times I work like my last holidays, or some weekends I am working, or if I'm not working, I'm worrying about work. So it's really depending on the time, depending on the flow, what is happening in that time. Even if I tell myself, now you will not check your email, focus on the holiday, my brain doesn't work like that. I don't listen even to myself. So it's just whatever it is, the mood of
I
that
guess
time.
because academia is so chaotic that we cannot always disconnect. Sometimes you will be checking your emails from, I don't know, I wanted to say a holiday destination. From Mykonos.
Turkish Riviera.
From Bodrum, you will be checking your emails. And sometimes you really can't disconnect because it's just that type of timing. There are no deadlines or nobody needs you, then you can do it.
But do you take, for example, I think you do. Sometimes on a random Wednesday, I will just not go to work. I will say, I'm not doing anything today. If I don't have an experiment or anything urgent, I will take that day of the random weekday to just do nothing. Not only holidays or anything. That really is my most relaxing time, even compared to Turkish Riviera or whatever. Just a random Wednesday at home.
I agree. Mostly if I have anything to do, for example, doctor's appointment, then I would choose to stay the whole day at home. And then you can work from home if it's needed to answer emails or doing anything admin stuff. That is usually the most calming part.
So good. In the true crime shows that sometimes a worker doesn't go to work one day and they're like, this is so out of character. Something bad must have happened. And I'm thinking, if I don't arrive at work, they will never look for me. It will take weeks.
This is also some product of COVID times where we got way more comfortable with working from home and having more flexibility with working from home. And I think before it was quite weird to just say to someone, I'm going to stay home and I'm going to work from home. And now, because that happened, a lot of people understood how they can actually benefit from it and how much more you can also do.
I remember when I just started my PhD, it was a few months before COVID, and I would finish, for example, at 4 p.m. But I was like, oh, I cannot leave before 5. So I would just sit there with nothing to do, try to read something, and then 5, and then I can leave. Now, as soon as I finish, I'm out. I'm immediately out.
I'm out of
Same.
here.
1, 3, I don't care.
Because I don't do anything. It's like nothing.
Go home, people. Come on.
But it's true because you do your thing. And then after that, if it's sometimes a longer experiment, you're gonna stay longer. If it's shorter experiment, gonna stay shorter. You don't have to force just to stay for someone else to think you're staying long enough in the lab and feeling embarrassed. Just go home, do your thing. Tomorrow, do longer, whatever is needed. That's why it's flexible about academic work life.
Yeah, some days you have an experiment of 12 hours and then why do you need to the next day 9 to 5? No. I wanted to ask if you ever had any experience with people that are looking at how much others are working, like commenting.
For PhD and postdocs, I wouldn't care how much they work as long as we are collaborating on something and they are doing their responsibility towards me. Of course, I wouldn't check their time, but there are some other jobs, more routine jobs in the academic environment that I care.
I have a comment on that. When someone has a title of a lab manager cannot manage the lab from your home. You have to have then that person way more often in the lab, or there can be a schedule that you know when that person will not be there if we have this type of flexible working hours. But if many people are depending on you and your responsibilities, you cannot work from home then. This is just not logical. And also, if you have a colleague that depends on you and your research, you cannot stay at home. You need to have some type of understanding.
Or you cannot start something and say suddenly, oh, but I'm now going on holidays. Can you continue? It doesn't work like that. Then it's the time management, but also then respect. Make this feasible for all of us. So yes, if you are doing your job in 4 hours and want to leave, do it, but don't cross the lines,
I wonder how these people don't feel any responsibility, that they just disappear and leave all the responsibility on others. And then you have other people that feel so guilty to take even a day of break. It's crazy. We should all be a bit more balanced, I think.
Yeah, this really annoys me just thinking about it, honestly. I would not be able to sleep during my holidays if I know that I left something and it ruined someone else's experiments.
But of course, there are exceptions. If there's family situations, whatever, we are not judging anyone, anything here.
Yeah, not at all. I really don't care about how much other people are working. Who am I to look at my colleagues and think, when do they come at work? It's not my business, and I don't know what they do at home, what they do when I'm not there. Why would I need to follow others? Or why do we need to compare ourselves with other people's working hours?
And we are at a point to know not working too long, too much does not mean the best research or most amount of data. Really, if you work long hours, okay. If you work less hours, okay. You do your research and I do mine. Do whatever.
Doesn't define the quality of your research, the way you're doing it, but how efficient you are, how lucky you are. I don't care how much you work. The only important part is that you're not damaging someone else's work, that you're sensitive about it, that you're thoughtful, and we all work together in the lab. I don't care if you're going to arrive at 11 p.m. or at 8 a.m. I don't have anything to do with that. And I don't miss you on my coffee break. So
don't tell me about how much you work. I'm so bored when somebody's telling me, oh, I worked this weekend, or oh, I did so many experiments. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm not impressed. Why would I be impressed with this? Why are you justifying yourself to me? No?
Yeah.
Come on.
I agree.
Also, for example, if you're a younger PhD that just started and then you hear people talking like that, then you might feel like you need to also be doing the same.
I think the newer generations are catching up on that part and they're not allowing themselves to overwork themselves.
The Gen Z.
That part is kind of sorted. They're not influenced really by millennials' toxicity.
Yes.
We will not understand how is it so easy just to say, this doesn't serve me, so I'm going to leave. It doesn't serve me. I'm still here trying to understand why is it not serving me.
I'm serving somebody. There is another part of taking holidays for us, people that live abroad, that are expats or immigrants or whatever you want to call us. A lot of our holidays are spent going back home and visiting our families. So how do you deal with that? Because a family visit is not always a holiday.
International students should have extra holidays for this.
I like it.
Does it feel like holidays? Can you really 100% relax?
Not at all. I need holidays after visiting home. It's tiring, logistics, arranging this and that. And in the beginning, I was like trying to see everyone, meet everyone. Now, at least I don't do that. I just see the people that serve me, that I want to see, that I want to stick around in my life. And I have a routine. My best friend comes to pick me up with the music in the neighborhood and we go get a coffee. But mostly, no, it doesn't feel like a holiday to go to Istanbul, to be honest.
I would really want to see everyone. That was really my wish, not feeling guilty that I'm there and I will not see them. I really want to see them. And then I would try to do that and just be completely exhausted, like I didn't have time to do anything. Or when you're with your parents, when you're at home, you don't feel like you're on holidays. You feel like there is always something in the house, or you're picking up the dynamic that was always there when you were living at home. My cousins that I'm very close with, and now they also have their kids, and you want to see kids. I just feel always stretched. So it doesn't feel like holidays. And as you said, you need holidays from holidays. So this year I am doing that. I'm going to take end of August, I'm going to take a week of holidays in my hometown. And then part of it will be on wedding of my cousin. And after that, I'm going 1 week on holidays with friends. No laptop at that time.
Years of experience taught you that this is what you need to do. And like you said, probably the most relaxing holiday is when you stay just at home.
Oh my God, yes.
But it's so hard. Whenever I have even a free weekend, I think, oh, where could I go? I really feel like I need to use the free time to go somewhere. But at this age, I think I'm done.
Oh no, I wanna be home every day, all day. Best place in the world. Best restaurant is when I cook. Best aperitivo is when I do. I love to be home.
Well, I felt very homesick today. I was super emotional. I was talking about watermelons. There are no good watermelons here. And I started crying. And I was very sad, so I booked myself a ticket to Croatia.
Oh my God, for the fresh produce.
There are lots of other things. This is just a fun part of it. I didn't saw my family in a long time. I called my brother and actually no one knows except him. He's going to pick me up.
Oh.
And I will just arrive there and I will enter the bakery of my parents and I will just order burek to my mom.
That's so nice.
I can film it for you if you want to see her reaction.
Do it, of course.
So how do you disconnect when you come home from work? Do you do some hobbies or do you watch something? What is your thing?
Shower, eat, going for yoga, meditating. Sometimes it's literally like resetting myself. I sit down, I close my eyes, and then trying to put myself back in the moment. What I learned throughout yoga teacher training program is breath work. And sometimes I practice that.
In X, haha, lele.
That's the motto.
I in X, haha, lele.
Do you want to explain to listeners what it means?
No, they should try to find out what it is. I will not say
Okay.
what it is.
I like that.
My way of relaxation can change. Sometimes I paint, sometimes I am rotting in the sofa. And sometimes I scroll for 1 hour, or most of the time it's cooked.
That can be beneficial and relaxing for you, but scrolling, do you really feel then like relaxed and you feel better after it?
Scrolling for me, I mean Pinterest, fashion or interior design or some YouTube video, true crime. I don't do like those funny videos unless it's a prank video or something like that.
Unless it's pranking your boyfriend. These are the videos that Burcu likes to send us the most. Whatever you do to your boyfriend, to prank him, to scare him, to jump scare him, to push him in the water, and then laugh behind his back, this is what she loves.
Yeah. And I scare my boyfriend a lot at home. You know, I hide in a bathtub, I hide under the bed, I hide around the home. And sometimes I wait 5 minutes, like silently, just so I can scare him. This is what gives me joy. This is how I relax.
I actually like that approach because it's very playful.
Yeah, in terms of relaxation, really best thing for me is to be home or with people I really am comfortable with. That also helps me a lot. Just drinking something and talking with certain people, with chosen people. Your favorite colleague does something behind you while you're away. He, she, or them tries to take over or make a move to say something about your results or your experiments or your project. What do you do?
I don't know. I think now with experience, I would not do anything. But before, I don't know, probably send a really angry email.
I think I would just talk, ask why, what happened, just for me also to understand if this is what happened actually. That's it. Take it from there. Most probably not caring so much.
And what is your answer?
She will buy a ticket immediately and come there.
Yes, I might even come there. No one can touch my frogs. Depends, but that's true. I would really buy a ticket and come. Yeah, if not, talk to my supervisor first.
What do you think would have to happen for you to leave your holiday and immediately buy a ticket? Something like that? Or what else can happen?
I mean, if my supervisors tell me there is like something going on with frogs, we have to carry them, we have to do some maintenance with the frogs and such, I would leave my holidays to help the animalarium if there is an urgency. Not that they need this one person to be there, but if it's necessary in the cathartic story, that would be the case. You, Mirna, if your diatoms are dying,
You would let them die.
Depends, some yes, some not. Depends if I have a cryo stock or is it the strain that I can get easily from somebody else. But if it's some that took me years to create, I'm going back. I'm going back for those diatoms. Did you ever have a day in the lab that you just decide I need a holiday immediately and you book everything and leave?
Today.
Yes.
But it was not because of the work. But it did happen for sure.
I wanted to leave the work for the day, definitely, many times. I'm out of here.
During my PhD, many times it happened that something was just not working with LCMS. And at one moment, it's just like leaving everything, closing the lab, and going for a drink. That's it. And not feeling guilty about it because nothing is working. And sometimes with these instruments, whoever is working with LCMS or GCMS, you know that sometimes you just need to let it sleep.
Even the machines need a break, you see.
Mirna, you feel like you would just leave.
The lab or holiday. Yeah, I did all of that. I also have one other question. Do you ever feel happy that your experiment failed so you don't need to work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely yes.
Yay! Good. I was feeling so bad about this because I'm happy if it works, but if it fails, I'm also happy that I can leave.
It happened to me today that I thought it wouldn't work and I did it. And it worked 100% efficiency, this fertilization of embryos from the frogs. Now I have embryos, but I was going to work from home for 2 days. So now I have to go to work.
Don't fire us.
We are coming to the end of this episode. Here we really discuss something that is quite important in academia, people not taking breaks that they deserve, sometimes from not being able to, and sometimes because it's your choice. One takeout that you would give to listeners?
If the environment allows you to take the time, you are, as a PhD student and a postdoc, your own manager to some degree. For us, quite some degree. So as long as you're aware of how to manage your time and project, and you are satisfied with your own work and self, however you define that satisfaction, feel free and encouraged to take time and not feel guilty about it. But also, I encourage not to feel guilty. Even if you check an email, it doesn't ruin your whole holiday. If you are not able to take holidays and you feel guilty, I hope the system at one point will change with people like us coming to certain managing positions.
I would say that I understand also if you feel guilty, and it's really hard sometimes to leave your work because you really care and you invest so much in it. But we are humans and we need a break. It's just that. Accept that you need it. Maybe for some period you can push it through, but it's not going to work. And if you do take it, you will only benefit from it and your work as well, for sure.
Would you rather have not taken holidays in a year but get very good results, or get mediocre results and had 3 holidays that you really relaxed?
Good data, no holidays.
Same.
You?
Same. This is so bad.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's like for a period of time. Because is there really a need that you need to do this for 10 years in a row?
Let's then change it. Would you rather have 10 years in a row of good results, no holidays taken, or have mediocre results throughout these 10 years, publish in okay journals, but with very good holidays all the time, 3 times a year?
Second.
Or
Now I'm also in the second. I would not sacrifice it for 10 years. 10 years of your adult life? Hello? Are we okay?
I mean, mediocre data or whatever. It's data is data. We like doing it. So, okay, second one.
To be honest, most of the data is mediocre.
It will not be different.
I want to know if anybody will choose the 10 years without a break. It's okay. We all have different priorities in life. And some of us prioritize multiple things, not just work. And it's fine if it's only just work.
Do whatever.
It's your life.
Do whatever, do whatever.
We are Ardiana, Burcu, and Mirna, and this is Do Whatever.